Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to my review for the long-awaited continuation of the Bourne saga. This is my review for the Bourne Legacy, and I'm going to just get straight to the point, okay? I was really looking forward to this film. I love the first three movies. It does not have Jason Bourne in it. It has Jeremy Renner, which is fine, playing Aaron Cross, a new agent/spy. It's still set in the Bourne universe. And the title does make sense in that, in that perspective, that it is in the Bourne universe and it is another agent that is like Jason Bourne. So the title does make sense for all the people like, why is it called the Bourne Legacy if he's not in it? Shut up, okay? Shut up, alright? So with that said, let's go on to the actual review with the story. Okay, so the story here is very hard to explain, very convoluted, so many things going on that I'm going to explain it as simple as I can, okay? The story here follows Jeremy Renner's character, Aaron Cross, who is a spy just like Jason Bourne was, except here he doesn't have memory loss just like Jason Bourne did in the first movie. Here he knows who he is, he knows his backstory and blah blah blah, so the whole movie isn't about him like, who am I? What's going on? No, he knows who he is. I don't know why he sounds like Sylvester Stallone, but he knows who he is, so the whole movie's not about that. So it's not a carbon copy of the first one, for people that are thinking it might be. No, here he's actually just, in the beginning, he's in the Antarctic, he's doing his thing, Treadstone sent him out there to go and, I guess, be a badass out there, survive and stuff, see how long he can survive, if he's badass enough to survive a wilderness. And then, you know what, Treadstone decides we have to kill all of our spies. Everybody in the field, I'm not going to spoil why, but they have to, and they decide to do that. So they kill everybody except, of course, Jeremy Renner, because he's too badass to kill. And they even fire like 3 missiles at him, but no, he's too badass. You can't fight Jeremy Renner. And what he decides to do is not go after Treadstone, but actually go after the manufacturers of this pill that he takes. And this pill actually makes him the badass that he is. And he's running out of supplies. So what he decides to do is go after them, but the only way he can is if he goes and gets this doctor played by Rachel Weisz, or a scientist, I should say, and she knows all about this kind of stuff. And he decides to go and get her right before she's actually about to get killed by Treadstone, because she's a liability, and he decides to go save her, and of course they have a little thing going on, chemistry, and that's really the story. He's going to go after the drug so he can be a badass, and it might not be as epic as Jason Bourne's story is, but I don't know, maybe it'll get more epic in the later installments. But anyway, I really like the story here, I really do. First of all, the acting is fantastic, and the characters are really likable, and right now, I think Jeremy Renner is a perfect replacement for Matt Damon. He is badass in this movie. He is really likable. You get to know his backstory. You get to know his feelings, unlike Jason Bourne, really. I mean, you don't really get to know his backstory. You never feel like he has that much emotion building up, even though, I mean, let's be honest, there was a lot of stuff that happened to Jason Bourne in the first 3 movies, especially in the second one. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Matt Damon's a great actor, and he's fantastic in those movies, but here you actually get a sense of emotion, like a lot of emotion from Jeremy Renner. And that's maybe because he's not as experienced as Jason Bourne. Jason Bourne, he's experienced, so he's not going to feel all mopey and stuff and cry like a little bitch. But here, he just has more emotion. I like that about Jeremy Renner's character. And Rachel Weisz is great as well. She's really good and great chemistry with Jeremy Renner's character. Edward Norton's in here, and he plays, I guess, the head of Treadstone for this movie. He's the one who's pretty much trying to go and get Aaron Cross and kill all the other spies, and he's good in it. The thing is, every time he goes on screen and he talks, he bores the shit out of me, to be honest. I mean, he's good, don't get me wrong, but he bores the crap out of me. I don't know why. It's just, I love Edward Norton. He never does this. I mean, I loved him as Bruce Banner. I loved him in Fight Club, American History X. He's a fantastic actor. He was just so boring this movie. But he did a good job, don't get me wrong. So the rest of the acting was great also. There's a lot of little cameos and little supporting roles that were in this movie that were from other movies, of course. Other characters that came back from the first 3 movies appear in this one for a very short amount of time. For the most part, the acting, the story, the characters are all great in my opinion, and I really do. I really enjoyed the story here. And the action, that's the thing. You know, the Bourne Ultimatum really set the bar for action in a movie like this. The Bourne Ultimatum and Casino Royale set the bar for stuff like chase sequences with cars or motorcycles and parkour stunts. Those two movies definitely set the bar for movies like this. And this movie does not really set that bar any higher. It really just, it becomes like, here's the bar, and this is where the Bourne Legacy is. There's not that much action. When it gets to it, it's pretty damn good, don't get me wrong, even though it has a really boring car chase at the end of the movie. It's very overlong and just not epic at all. It has a main villain that comes out of nowhere at the end. It's just really lame. But I really like the action for the most part. It's just not as good as the first three movies, and even Casino Royale, which is a very comparable movie, before someone says, oh, are you comparing it to a James Bond movie? I mean, it's about a spy, he's badass, he just goes around, you know, making out with women, just like Bourne and Cross. So, yeah, I really like the movie, even though there's a lot of side plots here and there that really are boring. There'll be times where people just talk, or there'll be times where even Aaron Cross's character gets a little boring, because all he does is like, oh, I'm gonna make a fake ID and we have to watch him do this and stuff. And it's just, sometimes it gets a little too boring here and there, but for the most part it is an entertaining film. It's not as good as the first three films, but I still enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm going to give it a 31 out of a 40. Definitely go check out the Bourne Legacy. It's not even close to as boring, or whatever the hell they say. They call it the Boring Legacy or something like that. It's not even close to that. It's really good. Not as good as the first three, but still good. Anyway, there you go. There's my review. Oh, also, one last thing. They play the song Extreme Ways from Moby at the end. Good job, guys. Good job. I love that song at the end of all the other three movies. It's such a good song to play at the end of those movies, and they play it in this one. Great job. Sorry for the long review, but it had to be done. Anyway, thank you, and goodbye.